Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Sahana bhavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu ma vitvishavahay. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 6 to 10 of chapter 3. Karmendriyani sanyamya,
Karmendriyani sanyamya,
ya aste manasa smaran,
ya aste manasa smaran,
indriyartan vimudhatma,
indriyartan vimudhatma,
mithyachara sa uchyate,
mithyachara sa uchyate,
yastvindriyani manasa,
yastvindriyani manasa,
niyamyarabhaterjuna,
niyamyarabhaterjuna,
karmendriyai karmayogam,
Karmendriyai karmayogam,
asaktah savishishyate,
asakta savishishyate,
niyatam kuru karmatvam,
niyatam kuru karmatvam,
karmajyayo hyakarmanah,
karmajayo hyakarmanah,
sharirayatra pichate,
sharirayatra pichate,
na prasidhyeda karmanah,
na prasidhyeda karmanah,
yajñarthat karmanonyatra,
यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र
लोकोऽयं कर्मबन्धनः
लोकोऽयं कर्मबन्धनः
तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय
तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय
मुक्तसङ्गः समाचर
मुक्तसङ्गः समाचर
सह यज्ञाः प्रजा सृष्ट्वा
सह यज्ञा प्रजा सृष्ट्वा
पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः
पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः
अनेन प्रसविष्यद्वम्
अनेन प्रसविष्यद्वम्
येषवोऽस्त्विष्टकामधुक्
येषवोऽस्त्विष्टकामधुक्
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So in the last few sessions, we have been seeing this process of creation, Srishta. This is actually literally like a gold mine, because using these principles you can create your life. But you will have to put a lot of effort to learn and master these principles. See, if you want to be a creator of your life, you need to focus all your energies, focus all your channels towards your chosen goal. First of all, you need to have a goal for that. That's why we started off by saying ascertain. Srishta means ascertaining what you want. Today, your energies are completely dissipated. They are running everywhere. If you notice your own mind keeps on running wildly in various directions. Now you try to control the mind from running towards something. Now immediately the mind will start running elsewhere. Now you try to control that, it will move to some other place. It will keep on running. This is the very nature of the mind, the fluid nature of the mind. Through a lot of sadhana, through meditation, the Yoga Sankirtan meditation is designed for that. Through that, what happens after a while is that the fluid nature of your mind starts becoming static. It stops moving by itself. So then you can direct it wherever you want. So when the mind is running everywhere, it is getting distracted. Now how do you channelize that energy? If you merely say, don't run here, don't run there, now that's not going to work. People who try to use force in order to control their minds, they end up doing either the same thing or something else equivalent to that with greater force. But that doesn't mean you just allow the mind to go wherever it wants to go. That path is also wrong. It's dangerous. Wrong here means we're talking of what is harmful to you and what is not harmful to you. So how do you gain a certain amount at least of control over the mind to start with? What our yogis are saying is that you determine what you want, you fix a goal, then that goal will act as a force which will draw the mind towards itself. See, if you forcefully try to push the mind, then the mind will resist. See, nobody likes to be told what to do. I remember a scene from a Tamil movie which was way back. I was in my school days that time. So in the movie it was depicted, this is the scene, there is a beggar who comes to the house and he asks for something, either some money or food or whatever it is, he just begs. And the wife says, "No, we don't have anything, you can go." So the beggar goes away. The husband is sitting on the veranda and he's reading a newspaper. This is the scene. So the wife comes from inside and tells the beggar there is nothing. Then he walks away. So the husband keeps the newspaper down and he calls the beggar. He says, "Come, come. What did you ask?" "I asked for something." "What did she say?" "That there is nothing." "Who is she to say?" The husband is asking the beggar. She has no authority to say. "I am only the head of the house." So then the beggar feels happy. Even when there is a fight between the husband and wife, the beggar feels, that can be beneficial to me, He says, "Yes, sir. So now you ask me." And the beggar asks the man, "Sir, can you please give me something?" He says, "See, I am the head of the house. Now I am telling you, there is nothing. Now go." Now, this is a classic depiction of how the ego works. It's the same thing which he is saying, but he says, "Now I have to say it. Only then it is correct. The same thing if it is said by that person, no, I will not accept." This is the mentality of many people. If a mistake is pointed out, they are not able to accept. Immediately, the defense mechanism will start working. You will start finding some reason or other. When a student approaches a master, the master does not correct the student directly unless and until the student has stopped this defense mechanism, defensive attitude. When a student's ego is more and he or she is very defensive, the master will be very quiet. He will just give the healing and he will put things in a more suggestive way, in a more polite way. He will not be direct, because that will not work. When the defensive attitude is dropped, which means the ego is reduced through sadhana, that is when the master will start telling things more directly, because he knows that will work very well. Actually, when things are told directly, by the master, and if that is taken in with a correct attitude by the student, the change is almost instantaneous. Why almost? It can be even instantaneous. But unfortunately, the ego play does not allow this process to happen. That's why things get delayed. So this is a weakness of the mind. We don't want to learn from others. We don't want to be told what is to be done. A yogi, he functions in a different way. See, he only decides what has to be done, but he will not be threatened or he will not feel insecure if somebody gives him suggestions or if somebody tells him what to do. He will consider it on merit. If it is acceptable, if it is well within his purpose in life, if it is within the scheme of things, he will definitely be willing to implement it. If not, he will reject it. But he is not going to take things personally. So, if you want to master this principle of Srishta, one of the key things is you need to learn to channelize your mental energies. And today the mind is running everywhere, and that is why the yogis are saying fix a goal. Because when you focus on your goal, now supposing, let us say, someone else comes and tells you something, your reference point will be the goal. Okay, whatever he or she is saying, will this help me to achieve the goal? If yes means, you will have no hesitation to implement it. The goal which you fix, and then I told you, you should get emotionally connected. Now that will start drawing the mind. If you forcefully try to push the mind, the ego which is behind it will get hurt. So it will not allow the mind to follow it. Drawing the mind is more effective than pushing the mind. See, if a person does not have ego, then you can just simply push the mind. It's very easy. The process is so simple. So this is the psychology of your own mind. See, for example, if you tell your mind, now don't do this, don't think about this, then only the mind will start thinking about it more. Sometimes people are very superficial, they have such a shallow attitude. When you tell them, see, supposing a person is very short-tempered, and you tell that person, see, if you keep on getting angry like this for every little thing, it is your health which will get spoiled unnecessarily. So why don't you learn to accept things and be more calm? Now, when you are saying that, you are really not meaning that you should immediately follow it 100%. You are trying to introduce that principle to that person so that over a period of time the person can follow it. This is what is practical. But I have seen many a times people are so superficial. Even when you tell them something like this, they immediately say, okay, done. From this second, I have dropped all anger. It doesn't work like that. The moment they say that, it means they have not really absorbed whatever has been told to them. They have, in a deep way. They have not fully grasped that advice. So invariably, in the next moment itself, they will get angry. They will lose their temper, and then they will lose their confidence also. because I told myself I should not get angry, but I'm getting angry. So they will develop a guilt also. So whenever you tell your mind, don't do this, it will immediately want to do it. This doesn't mean you tell your mind, do it, assuming that thing is not good for you. Now you encourage your mind there. That is also wrong. See, our goal is to gain mastery over the mind. This is not an excuse for people. See, for example, a person may, let's say, be addicted to alcohol. Now when they hear this, they'll feel so happy. Oh, I am now addicted to alcohol. And here Yogishri is saying that yogis, the great yogis, say that never should you force the mind. So I don't want to force my mind. How they are interpreting it is, therefore let me leave the mind. Let it just go wherever it wants. That is not what they are saying. The whole exercise is to gain mastery over the mind. So instead of forcefully trying to stop the mind, they say you redirect it. In order to redirect it, you require another force which is very strong, like a magnet which can attract the iron piece. Similarly, we require a force which can attract the mind. What is that force? That force is the goal which you keep for yourself. What is it that I want? So unless that emotional connect is there with the goal, it will not be a forceful goal. It will not have that power. Just imagine, supposing if we had been there before India got its independence, 1947, before 1947, if we had asked any freedom fighter, for example, if you had asked, let's say, Subhash Chandra Bose, what is your goal? What answer would he have given? Immediately he would have said, freedom for the country. In Tamil Nadu, there was a great freedom fighter, Vavu Chidambaram. So many people are there. I'm just simply giving one or two names here. What is your goal? Immediately he will say, it has actually been recorded. Vavu Chidambaram, now he was put in jail, in the prison by the authorities for 40 years. Not 1 year, not 2 years. His entire youth went away. And he was tortured in the jail. He was asked to do the work of the two bullocks, actually carry the plow and all that. You can just imagine. Now, when he was released from jail, the jailer came and told him, today you are being released after 40 years. Now, Chidambaram said, oh, okay. And he got up. The jailer asked him, sir, what is this? So many years you have been in the jail and today is your release date. You got your freedom. You're not happy. I don't see any happiness in your face. To which he said, what freedom? You've only given freedom to me from this jail. You're talking as if you've given freedom to my country. The day my country gets its freedom, that is when I'll be happy. That is when you can see me smile. See, in spite of being tortured in the jail for so many years, his goal was very clear. That is the kind of emotional connect you should have with your goal. Otherwise, don't call it a goal. It is just a casual thing. One day you say, I want this. Next day you say, I want that. There is no meaning. So the idea of asking you to do this is to create a very powerful force, a magnetic force, which can draw your mind. So once your goal becomes strong, your mind, instead of running here and running there, it will start running towards the goal. The process of self-mastery becomes very easy after that. And once the mind starts running on its own, that is when your energies start getting conserved. Because from there onwards, you don't need to constantly keep pulling your mind. Your mind is already running. Here and there, when it slips, at that time, it is enough if you pull back the mind. But without fixing a goal, if you just sit and if you're trying to pull the mind from here, pull the mind from now, within a few minutes you will get so tired. Without doing any external physical action, you will become so tired. So this is a very practical, simple way. This is a method of karma yoga which our great yogis have given. All sadhaks should start practicing this. So your energies today are getting wasted in so many things which really don't make any difference to your life. What is that person doing? What is my neighbor doing? Why my colleague alone is getting this promotion? See, your concern should be, what should I do in order to get my promotion? Instead of that, why is he getting it? In other words, if I fail, it is okay. I should, the other person also should fail. Then there is a kind of a false satisfaction which some people get. So you keep on watching others and you keep looking at their faults, you keep looking at their negativities. This drains your energy throughout the day. Anyone who keeps criticizing others mentally, see, verbal criticism is the next step. But first step is the mental criticism. So when you keep on mentally criticizing others for their faults according to you, I'm putting faults in quotes. But when you keep on criticizing, judging and criticizing, that dissipates your energy. You require all that energy to focus on your goal and create a life of what you want. So when you are learning these principles, you should also be alert where all my mind's energies are getting unnecessarily dissipated. So I'll give you one small tip. This will be very useful for all of you sadhaks to master this. See, the mind has a tendency to keep on finding faults with others, to keep on judging, which dissipates the energy. So now, if you say, don't look at the faults of others, you will find it very difficult. One simple way to solve that issue is, whatever aspect of wisdom you're learning every Sunday, now apply it with respect to others. See, your mind is already going to others. Now, instead of merely looking at the other person's fault and criticizing, see whether this principle is being practiced by that person or not. For example, if a person is very successful, the mind tends to react with a lot of jealousy. Now, how do you convert that? If a person is successful, immediately see what principle has he practiced in order to be successful. There's many principles have been given. That person may have practiced one or two, due to which he may have been successful. You may say, Sir, only two principles is practiced. How did he get success? Because others haven't even practiced those two. That is why he is successful. Success is a relative term. Here we are learning all the principles. So your chances of success are very high if you truly master them and consciously start practicing them. Supposing you find a person suffering in life. Let us say a person is very frustrated. I have not got this, I have not got that. See which principle is he not practicing. Why is that frustration there? Instead of creating a life of what he wants, he is constantly complaining. We saw no complaint versus gratitude. Now due to that complaining nature, see that person is constantly agitated. Now please remember, don't go and tell this to that person. See, you are complaining, that is why you are suffering. Now that person will get more angry. Who told you all this? Yogishri only told me this. No, that person's anger will turn here unnecessarily. Don't do all that. This is a method which will help you in two ways. One is it will curb the dissipation of energy first. Number two, without fighting with the mind, you will get more established in your wisdom. Wherever the mind is running, I am asking you to read this wisdom there, learn this wisdom there. So from every person you can learn something, either what to do or what not to do, both ways. Supposing you find a person who is an alcoholic, who is addicted to alcohol, who is addicted to smoking, his family members are all affected, but still he is not leaving it. Now instead of criticizing him mentally, the first thing is, oh, see, that person doesn't have any control over his mind. How the mind can play tricks. The person is not putting any effort to come out of it. The tamas is playing about. So this way you will enhance your wisdom. Instead of criticizing that person, you are converting that into a source of learning. This is a very simple tip which is being given to you. Practice it and see. You will find that the mental tiredness which you feel today will start reducing. The burden will start reducing, because instead of your energies getting dissipated, it will become a 24-hour learning experience for you. So the framework is being provided every Sunday. This wisdom is being given to you. So wherever your mind runs, now see this wisdom at work there. Whenever a person is successful, he or she would have practiced something. When a person has failed in something, see some important principle that person would have left. See, the successful person may not call it the ancient wisdom or Vedanta or Bhagavad Gita and all that. See, Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta, these are all names, but they are nothing but principles of life. So he would have unconsciously practiced that principle. So if let's say a couple, they are very happy, they are having a very happy relationship. You know, many a times, many principles are being given about relationships. Now, see, you will find that those principles would be practiced by them without knowing that they are practicing. In an unconscious way, they will be practicing those principles. It's very interesting. Life will become so interesting for you. Today, you're trying to get that entertainment by criticizing others mentally. Instead of that, I'm asking you to convert it into a learning experience. Why waste your energies in criticizing others? There is no purpose. Ultimately, are you gaining anything? Nothing. You're losing your time, you're losing your energies also. So these are all different tips which are being given to you so that slowly you can master your mind, you can conserve all your energies. And when your mind comes under your control fully, when you have mastered your mind fully, that is when you can direct it towards the infinite and you will hit the beeline. That's how you can become a Sthita Prajna. That's why we say meditation happens naturally. The advanced stage I'm talking of. The other practices which are being given, they are not actual meditation, even though we are calling it as meditation sadhana. They are only preparing you. Different grades are there, no anything. But the final thing happens naturally only. You cannot force it. The final experience. So all these principles actually help you. They aid you towards this process of self-mastery, mastering your own mind. This is how you can become a yogi wherever you are. A yogi doesn't mean now you have to be in a forest or you have to be in a cave. There's nothing like that. Being at your place, in your home, in your own home, in your own office, wherever is it you are functioning, you can be a yogi. This is the beauty of this wisdom. So, what are the various principles we saw of Srishta? I'm just going through them and then we'll proceed further. Number one is ascertaining. Be clear about what you want, your goal. Number two, determined. Have the determination. Number three, being connected, joined, be emotionally connected to the goal. That's what we started off with also today. And then go for abundance. Don't compromise. From whatever level you are in, stretch as much as possible. Put some effort to come out of your comfort zone. Your tamas will prevent you from doing that. But unless and until you come out of your comfort zone, you will not grow. Then the next one which we saw was ornamentation. Ornamentation means beautification, decorating your work. Decorating your work means doing your work as perfectly as possible to your satisfaction. Going to the specifics and ensuring that that action is to your satisfaction. Not compromising on quality. If you are looking for worldly appreciation, 50% quality may be enough. Because nobody sees all that. They applaud, they'll praise you without really knowing in a deep way. They will also put you down without getting into the matter fully. See, people just put a person up just like that. Or I have seen people, criticizing others without even bothering to find out the truth, what has happened. Just based on some hearsay, nowadays you have the social media, some messages you get about someone famous. Immediately you also start spreading that. No effort to find out whether that is authentic or not. So the worldly appreciation, worldly praise and worldly criticism is not based on the actual reality. It is just based on hearsay, their perception. So if you are going to be dependent on that, your quality will suffer. Instead, whether the other person praises or criticizes, it does not matter. But I will put in my best. So, see, great achievers, great artists may be praised by others, still they will not be happy with their work if they feel that it is only 50 or 60% good in terms of quality. So that is ornamentation. And then we saw two more, that is abandoning. After doing whatever you have to do, now you have to get into that state of detachment. Letting go is a key process, key to this process of creation. When you let go, incidentally, you will be very happy. So the detachment should be there. How long should the detachment be there? Let loose means till you are no longer dependent on that object for your happiness. So right up to the end point they are taking it. So this combination is the key. Doing everything which you have to do, but also letting go, being detached. A person who has achieved this is a yogi. The mind will slip to either of the extremes. When they say do whatever you have to do, the mind will get completely attached. And the moment it is said become detached, now the moment you start practicing detachment, you will find that you will stop doing whatever you have to do. And you will get into tamas. It is by sincere practice of both these principles that over a period of time you will get that balance. You will learn to balance these two forces. And that will start guiding you in your life, that energy which you create. So this letting go is a very important factor for your happiness and for your achievement also. See, I always tell parents, when they give birth to children and as the babies grow, now automatically, without their knowledge, a lot of attachment also is created. So when the children grow up, now the parents are unable to leave them mentally. So many parents get hurt. You can't blame the other person, no point. That is not under your control, remember this. So if you go a little deeper, you will find that this is the reason. So to all the parents, this is a small tip. When you bring up your children, how should you bring them up? First of all, how should you plan your life? You should plan your life as if you're going to live alone. This doesn't mean you are expecting that you will live alone, no. But I'm saying you should be prepared for that, strong enough to face life even if you have to be alone. And then when you are taking care of your children, don't take care of your children with the expectation that they will take care of you financially later on, they will take care of you emotionally. Because that may happen, may not happen, that is not under your control. So if it does not happen, you will suffer. If it happens also, there will be that insecurity. So you plan your finances so that you are financially independent. You do the sadhana and become emotionally strong so that you are emotionally independent. You should be in a position of giving love. And when it is reciprocated, of course you are going to receive it. But you will not be dependent on it for your happiness. This is a very powerful state. This is what I am giving you is a very practical philosophy, the practical application of this ancient wisdom. So when you are bringing up your children, don't bring them up with an expectation, they will grow up and they will take care of me. There is no guarantee for all that. So you plan out your life and give your best. Do whatever your duties are. So when they grow up, they are adults now, practice detachment. Let them take their own decisions. Now when you have the detachment, believe me, they will come to you for advice automatically. And if they come to you for advice, you can suggest, you can say. See, today there is so much of dependence. See, this is from the parents' side. From the children's side, what is suggested is, when you have received so much in life, you should always have that gratitude. When you were not able to take care of yourself, your parents took care of you. So today when they are unable to take care of themselves, it is your duty to take care of them. That is from that side. But as parents, you should not have the expectations. So in life, if you plan out and function, see, when you are a child, in the sense when you are a son or daughter to your parents, do your duties. Now when you become a parent, do your duties again in a detached way. And then you may become a grandparent. Yes, whatever you have to do, just do it, but in a very relaxed and detached way. If you don't practice it today, you will not be able to suddenly practice it later on. Remember that. So start this process. So when a child is growing, first it is a baby, then it's it turns over, it starts sitting, crawling, all these things happen, Now you will be seeing it as a baby, as a child. Suddenly the child will become a teenager, and before you know, the child will become an adult. Now, I've seen many parents who are unable to accept that. They still treat them as children only, mentally. So they get hurt when the children become independent. Whereas if you are detached, that will not affect you. Rather, you will feel happy. My son or my daughter is able to take his own decision. If the decision is totally wrong, then you can talk to them. And if you are detached, if you are functioning like this, when you talk to them, the children also will listen. Similarly, from the other side, I have seen children means to their parents they are children, they are grown up only, but they are so attached to their parents. They are constantly worrying as the parents age. I know one man. Now he is not doing anything. He's just every day he's just sitting and worrying. My parents should be healthy. My parents should be happy. I said, because of this attitude, first of all, you are not happy. You are spoiling your health. Then how can you wish for their health and happiness? So wherever you need to let go, you need to let go. You need to learn that. That will give you that freedom, that will give you that happiness. And when you are free, when you are happy, you will not be stressed. Your actions will become more productive. And that is when you can achieve whatever you want. So that is why this abandoning and letting go, that is let loose has another meaning also, but we are using it here in a positive sense. So these two principles are very important principles of Srishta. There are so many other things, I am not covering all that. I have taken up a few very key principles which are more than enough for you to start creating your life in a positive way. So, Srishta, Sahayagnaha Praja Srishtva Puro Vacha Prajapatihi. Having created people along with the principle of sacrifice, principle of yajna, Pura Uvacha Prajapatihi. The Creator spoke thus. At that time he spoke. So I have explained all that, Pura, the relevance, how we brought it to our life here now, all that we have seen. So Prajapatihi, the Creator himself is saying. That gives a very psychological boost to your mind. It becomes more alert. An expert in a field is talking about that field. Sachin Tendulkar is talking about how to bat. Now everybody will listen. A very successful businessman tells you how to do business. Immediately, psychologically, you listen. The same thing may be told by another person, but you may not give value. So that's why Prajapatihi himself is saying. So what did Prajapatihi say? Anena prasavishyadvam. By this may you propagate. Prasavishyadvam. Propagate or prosper. Progress. Anena means by this. Anena prasavishyadvam esha vostvishta kamaduk. Esha vaha astu ishta kamaduk. Ishta kamaduk means fulfiller of all your desires. Now, we will see that. Let this be, astu means let this be, the wish fulfilling cow of your desires. Kama duk, another way of referring to Kama Dhenu. Kama Dhenu is a reference to the divine cow which gives you anything which you want. Now, what is the yogic meaning of Kamadhenu? He is covering here. When we get into the depth of it, you will find it very interesting. See, we read all these Puranic stories. They are like stories to you. They may have happened, but as far as you are concerned, yes, stories only, no. But if you understand the relevance of those things in your life, then they will no longer be stories. They will become a reality for you. So in the Puranas, they refer to Kamadhenu. Kamadhenu is a divine cow which has the capacity to give you anything which you ask for. Now, as that is being told to you, in many of your minds, it will come, sir, please tell me where I can get that cow. I'll first buy it. It's not like that. It is not an external cow. See, it is put in a very poetic way. All these, the scriptures, the Puranas, everything has been put in coded language, a yogic language. You need a yogi to decode the deeper messages. I told you this last time, no? In science, very many formulae are given. Those, if you see all those things, that is, if you take a formula, now to explain that formula, it will take a lot of time. Just to state that formula will not take so much of time. But if you go and ask a scientist what exactly does it mean, he may explain to you for weeks how that formula is derived, what each aspect of that formula represents, how do you prove that, and what are the applications of the formula. So many things are there. So unfortunately, people don't understand spirituality as a science. It is an inner science. So they just approach it in an unscientific way. That's why they don't really get the essence. They don't get the true messages from these great scriptures. So there is a beautiful story where the demons and the gods, the devas and asuras, they decided to churn the milky ocean. It was told to them that if you churn the milky ocean, you will get amrita, the nectar. If you drink that, you will always be alive, no death. You will go beyond death. That's the meaning of amrita. Mrita means death. Amrita means no death. So the devas were also interested. The demons were also, asuras were also interested. So they said, let us go. And then they were told that it's not going to be easy. So you both have to now cooperate with each other. Only then it's possible. That was very difficult for them. Yet they managed to do that. So the story is that, I'm not getting into the full story, but we'll just see the relevant things to this verse, The mountain was kept, and then they used a snake, Vasuki, to churn. So devas were standing on one side, the asuras were standing on the other side, and they started churning. And when the churning happened, first thing that came out was the deadly poison, Kalakuta. Very, very deadly poison came out. The fumes of that poison were so deadly that people started fainting. They didn't know what to do. Then they went to Shiva and prayed to him. And Shiva came and drank that poison. These are all very beautiful stories giving wonderful messages. And Parvati came and stopped that poison. It's touched here, at the neck level. So the poison got arrested there. That's why he's called Neelakanta. And then after that they went on churning. Wonderful things started coming out. And they kept distributing. Okay, this thing you take, this thing I'll take. So like that. And after all that, finally, Amrita came. After that, what happened and all that, I'm not getting into it in this context, because in some other context I'll cover the full thing also. In this context, what you need to focus on are 2-3 things. That is, number one, this process of churning, what does that represent? That represents the sadhana which you do. The devas are the good forces within you. The asuras are the negative forces within you. There is a constant tussle. As long as there is a tussle within you, you will not be calm. You will feel restless all the time. So the first thing in sadhana is temporarily kind of calm down. That is symbolic of the devas and asuras desiring to cooperate with each other. The milky ocean represents the mind. So when the churning is done, churning is the process of sadhana. I am not this body, I am the self. I am not this mind, I am the self. I am not this intellect, I am the self. Any kind of sadhana which you do, You're churning your personality, you're churning your mind, as it were. When you do the Yoga Sankirtan sadhana, an automatic churning process starts happening. Now, this is the next thing which you should note. And then after that, the third thing which I want you to note with regard to this verse is, the first thing which came out was a poison. So when you do sadhana, all the negativities which you have will all come out. They will all be thrown out. At that time, you should be like Lord Shiva, objective. See, Parvati didn't allow the poison which Shiva drank to either go up and affect the brain, that is thinking, or go down and affect the heart, which is feeling. So the poison didn't affect the thinking, it didn't affect the feeling. Similarly, when these negativities are purged out, you should not allow it to affect your thinking, nor should you allow it to affect your feeling. Affecting the feeling means you should not feel down, oh, I am useless, I have so many negativities. Some people get into that complex after doing a little bit of sadhana. So you should maintain your objectivity. After that, the fourth thing which you should look for here is, all good things started coming. Goddess Lakshmi came from there. So wealth will start coming to you. And one of the things is, Kamadhenu, cow, also came from that milky ocean. So when you keep on doing your sadhana, this is the process. At every level, some negativities will be purged, the karmas will be burnt, the karmic blocks will be broken. There you need to be very objective. That's why I say, keep doing your deep breathing and release them. That is always said, especially in the empowerment programs, I emphasize on that, no? Because a lot of churning will be happening in every empowerment program. Then good things. So when you release, at one level, when you release those karmic blocks, those negativities, as it were the poison, immediately good things will happen at that level. That's why many people have reported, almost every sadhak has said this, after every empowerment, some good thing happens. I fix a goal, that gets fulfilled. Why? Because the poison pertaining to that goal, pertaining to that desire, has been burnt up. So if you continue this process, finally Amrita. Amrita is a state of being beyond death, beyond birth. That is the enlightenment, becoming a Sthita Prajna. That is the final goal. Now, so in this process, the Kamadhenu came out. When the Kamadhenu, the divine cow, came, it was also referred to as Surabhi. Now, they wondered, to whom shall we give Kamadhenu? Now, there was a discussion between the Devas and Asuras. The Devas said, we want this Kamadhenu. The Asuras said, no, we want. But finally, when they took advice from the higher, the advice which was given to them was, neither of you are qualified to keep this. Then who is qualified? The Sapta Rishis. Sapta Rishis are the 7 great sages. You should hand it over to them. And the instructions were given to them that you can use this divine cow freely to materialize whatever it is that you want. And the Saptarishi said, but we don't want anything. We are already in a state of paripurna, infinite state of bliss and happiness. So we don't want that. That is why you are being given this cow. See, this is like a catch-22 situation, you know. When you want something so much, you will not get it. When you leave it, you will get it. That's how it has been designed. Don't ask me why has it been designed like that. If you want, you ask the person who has designed. I have not designed it, but this is how the law functions. So then they accepted that, and they used that cow to every now and then to materialize various things which they required for performing yajna. Again, that is symbolic, because we are studying yajna only now. No? So why is he bringing in this Kamadhenu here? Because of this, there is a deep connection. So what these Saptarishis used to do is they used to perform yajnas. So whatever materials were required to perform that ritual, all that they used to get from this cow, and they used to perform. So what is the meaning of this? The Saptarishis are symbolic of any person who is functioning for the highest cause, for the benefit of this world. That's what we will be seeing later on, Loka Sangraha, the welfare of this world. So when you function in a spirit of service and sacrifice, that is what is called as yajna. So in that process, you may require many things. Practically, you may require so many things. You may require some money, you may require somebody to do certain things for you. So many things are there. Now all that you can materialize using this. So this was symbolically given in the form of a story there. This is very important. The fact that Kamadhenu was given to the Saptarishis, people who had done a lot of sadhana, tapas. If it is given to a wrong person, that person will start manifesting destructive things. Supposing, let us say, the Asuras had taken it. What would they have done? First thing they would have done is now destroy everyone, because that was their nature. If the Devas had taken it, what would they have done? They would have asked for so many things just to keep indulging in pleasures and forget about the higher purpose. So that is why in that Samudra Manthan episode, it has been very carefully mentioned that this was given to people who had done tremendous tapas. So, what is the moral? What is the sadhana message which you learn as a sadhak? One thing is to want to master this process of creation. So many people have asked me, sir, can you please teach us how to materialize? Yes, it can be taught. Here, I have given certain principles. In between those principles, many messages have been given. If you carefully follow them, you can master this process. But I have not directly given an empowerment or taught how to materialize. That in the future it will be done. The reason why it has to be done with caution, taught with caution, is because when your own mind is not under your control, you will not be able to materialize positive things alone. Just imagine if every thought of yours gets materialized. Now what will happen? You should thank God that every thought is not getting materialized. Sometimes when you're low, you say, no, what is this life? I wish I am dead, but no, you may. Or sometimes in anger, you kind of curse the other person. The other person whom you actually are attached to. You love that person, but that's got polluted because of attachment. It may be your own children. Just go to hell sometimes. Just out of irritation, you may say something. So just imagine every thought, everything which comes in your mind, if it starts materializing, you will be in very big trouble. Actually, for those people who are asking, sir, please teach materialization, you don't know what you are asking. According to your state, according to your tapas, whatever state you are in, certain powers have been given to you. First, you be happy with that and keep gaining this wisdom, keep doing the sadhana. As the purification happens, when the samudra manthan is done, when the churning is done more and more and more, and the poison is all purged out, that is when these powers will start getting enhanced. And at that time, you will know exactly how to use it. So there is a catch here. That's why he is not saying use this yajna, this principle to materialize whatever you want. He doesn't just simply say like that. Let this be the wish fulfilling cow of your desires. Let this be the kama dhenu. So the moment he talks of kama dhenu, now see, first of all, your focus will be on kama, desire. Now from there he shifts you to kama duk. Duk is another form of dhenu, giving. So what will give me the desire? How to fulfill my desire? So a slight shifting of focus. But the moment you think of kama dhenu, it's a divine cow. Now your mind will further be shifted to something divine. It doesn't stop with that. If you want to understand who this kama dhenu is, you will get to know the story behind it, the Puranic. That's why the Puranas were created, as a support to the core messages which were given in the Vedas. So when you read about kama dhenu, when you get that knowledge, you don't need to read now, that has been told to you, whatever relevant information is there, it's been told to you. See, there is so much of information which is given, like how does a kama dhenu look, all that we are not getting into here. It's not required. Kamadhenu, who was a daughter of Kamadhenu, what does it matter? Here, what is its relevance to your life? So that much amount of information you should always gather. See, sufficient knowledge, you should always aim at gaining sufficient knowledge, sufficient enough for you to function. So when you gain this information, when you start learning the story, and this is how Kamadhenu came, this is where she came from, and she was given to the Sapta Rishis. Now your focus moves from Kamadhenu to the Sapta Rishis. So if you want to use the Kamadhenu, now you will have to become one of the Sapta Rishis. So what is a Sapta Rishi? How did they become a Rishi? Because of their tapas. Tapas means sadhana. So therefore, what should you do? At the end of all this, do your sadhana. That's all. See how beautifully he is bringing your focus. He is starting with your desires, kama, and then slowly he is taking you on a big ground, and finally he says, do sadhana. That has been told to you directly many times. They have told you, do sadhana, do sadhana. You will know, your mind will not listen. Okay, chalo, no problem. A big story. Final message, do sadhana. So it's a very inspiring story, Kamadhenu. And what is most interesting is, this whole churning of the ocean and all that, if you read it as an external story, it means nothing. But when you understand the yogic significance, the relevance to your sadhana, how these things are happening inside you, that is when it becomes, not merely a story, but it becomes a reality for you. So Kamadhenu came from the Milky Ocean. Similarly, all the powers, the power to create whatever you want is there inside you only, inside your mind. They are not there anywhere outside. So deep within you, you have all the powers. The poison is also there within you. Good things are there. The power to create anything you want is also there within you. But they are all lying dormant. You are not living up to your potential. So this ancient wisdom, the Vedantic wisdom, the wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita and all the scriptures, they actually help you to bring out these powers from within you. So don't ask me the address of Kamadhenu. I cannot give you a door number and street and all that. It's not possible. Where is Kamadhenu? Right within you. Kamadhenu represents the power to create. And that power is there right within you. You need to learn to tap it. You need to learn to invoke it, to awaken it. And that is possible if you do the churning, the sadhana on a daily basis. When you keep releasing your negativities and when you practice this wisdom, the higher aspects of this wisdom, you're doing the churning of your personality. The more you churn your personality, the more will be your growth. That is why I keep telling you, wherever you are, don't leave your sadhana. It is not merely being physically close to a guru that matters. Some people say, Yogishri, I am living so far away. I really envy those people who are, able to contact you on a regular basis, who are physically close to you. There is nothing to envy here. If you are doing your sadhana on a daily basis, now this physical distance, all these things really do not matter. The energy will come and reach you. See, you should learn to relate to the master at a subtler level. Not get fooled by the superficiality, by merely the physical presence. This is very important. So let this be the Ishta Kama Dukh. What is interesting is, he is qualifying Kama. He is not saying Kama Dukh and stopping with that. He is qualifying it. Ishta Kama Dukh, he says. What it means, all that we will see as we go along in the next sessions. Because it's very powerful. First of all, Prasavishyadvam, what it means. Every aspect, it's been very carefully structured. And when we go deep into that, that will give you so many tips to transform your life. Okay? So now we'll have the Nididhyasana. Before we have the Nididhyasana meditation, I'll take up one question. This question has been asked by Krish from California. Hari Om Master, what does it mean to invoke? In the context of Yajna, you had mentioned that when we say Hari Om, we are invoking the infinite. In a different context, you have guided us to invoke the Guru Shakti. What should our bhavana and action be when we invoke? Thank you. This is an interesting question which he has asked. This will be useful to all the sadhaks. The Sanskritam word for invoking is avahanam. Avahanam means invoking, calling. So, in all the many mantras, whenever some God is being invoked, they say Avahayami, I am calling that power to come. These are all quite significant, and when you do it with full bhav, that becomes a reality. See, everything depends on your intention only, bhavana, and your conviction, your faith. Without any faith, if you are just merely going through the motions of the rituals, no, that means really nothing. So what is this avahanam or invoking? It means to call. To bridge the gap between you and that higher power which you are invoking, you say, I invoke. Avahayami means I am invoking. So for example, let's say you want to invoke the Guru Shakti. I invoke the Guru Shakti. The more feeling, see, when it is said with a lot of feeling, bhavana, you ask me what bhavana and with what should be the action. Action has no significance here. This is a mental process. I have only given one small thing which is very conducive, that is keep your palms like this, I always say, because this is symbolic of receptivity. And from an energy point of view, from pranic level, when you turn it like this, you release the energy. When you are in this, you receive. So that is why this alone has been suggested. In every meditation, during the empowerment and all, it's been suggested, no? When to first keep your palms on your knees or thighs facing upward. That is more than enough. But what is important is bringing that bhavana. See, everything which you say should be done with, should be said with full feeling. Like before the start of every session, I say, no, Hari Om. I genuinely invoke that divinity which is there within me and within all of you. I see you all as manifestations of that infinite reality. And I bow down to that divinity which is there in each and every one of you. A very good day to all of you. When it is said a very good day, I wish you, a genuine wish should be there. Without that bhavana, without that feeling, those words mean nothing. Supposing I come and say, Hari Om, a very good day to all of you, and we start. No. Or in a way, let's say I say, Hari Om, a very good day to all of you. Even though I'm saying the same thing, the energy which you get is different, isn't it? So the bhavana makes the avahanam or whatever you say very powerful. So when you say, I invoke the Guru Shakti, if you get into that mode of surrender, humility, and from the depth of your heart, if you invoke the Guru Shakti, instantly the Shakti will start flowing. It is said that whenever you chant a mantra, let's say, Om Namah Shivaya, it is said that Lord Shiva is actually there in front of you. Om Namo Narayana. Narayana is there in front of you, but you're not able to experience. Why? Because the bhavana is not full, it is not intense. How to explain this? Very difficult. You will have to experience it. You will experience it as you advance in your sadhana. Everything which you say, everything which you feel, you will feel it so intensely, and that will be a reality for you. With that intensity when you bless someone, that will go to them. I wish you all a good life. That blessings will go. It will cause a lot of healing. So when you invoke, the bhavana should be very pure, genuinely calling. Now, in the initial stages, when you say, let's say, whether it's Guru Shakti or God, anything, you will consider all that outside you. So when you say, I invoke the Guru Shakti, you will visualize or you will imagine the Guru Shakti to come from outside. That is okay to start with. But as you progress in your spiritual path, you will understand that everything is within you only. That's what I'm trying to say. Kamadhenu is within you, that power to create. Yajna is within you. The infinite is within you. So when you start becoming a deeper sadhak, the invocation will become more powerful because you will not be calling some power from outside. You know it is there within you. So your calling will be to awaken it. From the word avahanam, it means calling, but now it will change from calling to awakening it from within. So when you say, Om Namah Shivaya, you're awakening the power of Shiva from within. The Om Saravana Bhavadhyana is there, no? The Yoga Sankirtan. Om Muruga, Om Muruga, Om Muruga, Om Muruga. That you're invoking means you're awakening that power from within. It becomes even more powerful. So a yogi doesn't need to go anywhere. He can just sit at one place and invoke all the powers of this universe from within. Invoking here means awakening. So according to your level, the depth of avahanam will keep on changing. And when you become a very powerful yogi, you just have to bring that bhavana. It starts materializing. See, I have taken up this question because it's related to this yajna, srishta, everything. So we are going to have the Guru Purnima next month, no? July 21st. It happens to be a Sunday only, so it suits us very well. So we'll be doing that sadhana. There we'll be invoking the Guru Shakti in a powerful way, awakening it from within. That is the yogic sadhana. Invoking it from outside is a normal sadhana that is limited. When you awaken it from inside, it becomes very, very powerful. Okay? So, every day when you invoke, do it with that full bhavana. So now we'll do the Nididhyasana meditation. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I am becoming more and more relaxed. feel the divine vibrations. With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper into myself. Beyond this physical body, beyond these emotions, beyond these thoughts, lies my real, essential self. Myself is infinite. I have the power to create my life. From this moment onwards, I choose to do my sadhana on a daily basis and invoke all the powers which are there within me. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Slowly come back. Wriggle your fingers, your toes, rub your palms together to create a warmth. Cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, cheeks, forehead, top of the head, back of the head and neck. Slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. It has been yet another powerful session. If you practice all these principles, you will become so powerful to fulfill all your goals. So reflect on these principles, and as I gave you a tip, when you're the Sundays, when you're listening to these sessions, get these principles directly. Then whenever you're interacting with others, see what principle they are practicing, what they are not practicing, what are the results. It will become very interesting. You will start understanding life in a much more deeper way when you strengthen your wisdom. Okay? So there are a couple of announcements before we close. First one is about the Guru Purnima meditation which we are going to have. It will be on the 21st of July, same time. So we are going to invoke the Guru Shakti in a powerful yogic way. Today I have given you the deeper meaning of invoking. So now that will be very useful for you when we do that sadhana. So it is not about the method, the what we are chanting and all that. It is about the energy which is being invoked. So that is being invoked for you. So if you just surrender yourself to the process, if you just relax and get into a receptive mode, you can receive maximum and benefit. A lot of healing will happen. So that is going to be on the 21st of July. The other announcement is regarding the next Yoga Sankirtan. It is getting ready. The release date, the launch of the next Yoga Sankirtan has also been finalized. It will be on the 10th of November. Again, a Sunday. The details and all will be given out later. I've already got a lot of emails asking me, what is this Yoga Sankirtan about? Where, which power are we invoking? So many questions have come. I will tell you all that in the future, but I'm giving you the date now itself so that those sadhaks who are not in Chennai can plan out. It will be on the 10th of November. It's going to be very powerful. It has been designed to make you so powerful as a sadhak. Okay? So, thank you very much. I'll see you in the next session. Hari Om.